Well, it's a Sunday afternoon down here at Rice's Point, tucked underneath the Highway 53 bridge called the High Bridge that connects Duluth, Minnesota and Superior, Wisconsin. Boat's ready to go. I might try something. I'm out here by myself, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to do this, but it's really a jury rig. But I have a spinnaker from a Snark tucked in here with a line to pull the tack just out to here, and then I've got a line long enough to go around the front of the jib if I want to try to tack. And I just have some nylon strapping that's been sitting around the house because I just want to see how this works before I go by line. And we'll see how that goes, if it goes. Time to put her in. So this is a pretty spot to put in here. The St. Louis River runs up to the right, and we're just off the Superior Bay, Duluth Bay, and across the Spitland to open water and Lake Superior. There's the fishing pier. Nice little spot. And there's the bridge we have to miss. So nice beam reach here. Shouldn't have any problem getting around the corner and getting out of here. Wind's just ahead of beam. It's pretty light, so I don't have a lot of speed, but yeah, we're doing all right. If you look upstream there, you see the Highway 2 Bong Bridge, it's called. A lot of people have fun with that name, but it's named after Ira Bong, a World War II fighter pilot. Sorted. They use these as sails ties. They're not bad, but they get caught up on everything. So I got to get them out of the way, and way too many lines and crap in the bottom of the boat right now. It always amazes me on days like today. It's a Sunday, 4:30 in the afternoon. A nice, steady breeze, relatively light and easy. And boy, where is everybody? So the plan today would be to sail over to the lift bridge and decide whether I want to go out, see what time it is. So back over that way. And we're plotting along here at about 2.5, 3 knots, so we'll see how long that takes. So I think sometimes people worry about or wonder about single-handing, a boat with 3 sails. And if you bring all your lines back to the cockpit and you get some decent cleats for your jib sheet, it's really not that hard to manage. I set my mainsail based on the conditions, and everything's flying well. Telltales are flying back. I set my, if I'm sailing towards the wind, I keep my mizzen tight, and that helps me keep pointed up. Right now I'm not even touching the tiller, but if I tack, I've got my 2 sheets. I'm going to just step over to the other side of the boat. I'm going to use my butt. I kick the tiller over. I wait till the jib back sail. Sometimes if it's blowing hard and I want or light, I want to move that around. I pull in on the other side and we're off sailing on the other side. And nothing much more than that. Part of the tug fleet up here in the harbor. A lot of times I'll, after I make the turn, I'll ease the jib just a little bit, or she will pull her around pretty quickly and get you headed farther downwind than you want to be, or off the wind than you want to be. Well, that's exciting. We hit 4 knots and better. Wasn't sure if we'd do that today or not. See a little bit more of Duluth over here. You can see the high bridge up that way. And if I point too close to it, I lose all my wind. Slowly making our way upwind towards the lift bridge. Days like these, it's easy to just kind of stand up and hold the tiller between your legs. Bump it a little bit if you need to, but otherwise just let her sail along. You do have to check traffic, see what's going on the other side of your sail every once in a while. You see that big green buoy there? The other day I was out sailing and gee, I almost hate to admit this, but I came about a foot from hitting that thing. That'd hurt. That's not a buoy you want to mess around with. Okay, so whee! This is my Snark jib. It's up, that's about all I can say. I'm not sure what it's doing for me. The way I got it rigged is about as jury rigged as you can get. I should play with this and try to make it work, or get a proper asymmetrical would work better with proper fittings, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not sure if we're going any faster than I would with my jib just whisker pulled out like I normally do, but we're on a broad reach. I can't sail this downwind, doesn't like that. So anyway, pretty good now. We're about dead downwind. Let's see. So there's not much of a window here of where she likes to sail. We're gonna go up front and see what we can see. Oh, okay, so let's see. I think I need to go this way. Come on. Lean, baby. There we go. Okay. So we can get her full. Don't want to go too far. Okay, so this isn't for anything more than fun. Not trying to prove anything. Other than don't know what I'm doing. I can steer the boat from up here though, which is nice. Gotta trust that my shroud isn't gonna let loose on me. But other than that, I'm standing up here at the mast and just leaning out to steer. So I got to make sure I don't run into the shore over here, which means I'm probably done with this. Okay, so that was exciting, but I'm not sure if this particular sail is the right setup for my boat. It was kind of fun getting it down by myself, but it's a nice enough night out here that I wasn't really that worried. So I guess that speaks a little bit to the stability of these boats, is that I can screw around like that and I didn't fall out. Thanks, John. Fishing boat coming off the lake. So this is what I usually do with light wind and or just running down. I'll throw my whisker pole here, stick the pointy end. I'll bring my jib sheet with me as I walk forward. And you can't see a thing, but stick the pointy end out there, jam the base down here, and get that jib out there, catching some wind. Woo! All right, downwind again. And we'll sit out here on this side to help the mainsail fall off. Otherwise, the weight of the boom just swings it in sometimes. Sail back into the wind under the bridge. Take a peek up on the other side quick. There's a nesting sanctuary that they've been adding material to make this bigger. Gulls, cormorants. I think there's some specific types of gulls that are more rare that they've been trying to provide a spot for. It gets loud. They've got some fenced-in areas to keep predators out. And from the looks of it, pretty good. There's a pretty little tern sitting here. Cormorants holding court on this side of the island. This is the taconite dock up here, and a couple of big grain elevators. Like turning that corner, we're back up the 4 knots as we gonna head back under the bridge and head home for the night. The wind can funnel under the bridge here and up the river valley, actually either direction. So quite often the wind's heavier in this stretch. Interestingly, there used to be about $1 million worth of Douglas fir right there. There was an old elevator that they were salvaging, and a saw got hot, hit a spike, something started a fire, and there was a massive fire, and the entire structure went up, taking with it some really old growth Doug fir, is my understanding. Yeah, that clunk was my head. So there's always the question of the easy way, the hard way. The easy way is to just pack all the sails in, turn the motor on, and motor into the dock. The hard way is to sail in, which, I mean, isn't necessarily hard, but the wind's a little bit iffy in there, and it can be a little busy. So we'll see what traffic looks like. If it's not busy, we'll go ahead and sail in. Most of the estuary is really sailable, but you do have to know where the old piers were, because there are footings that are just under the water in a few areas that could be a bummer to run into, but not here, I don't think. So, boat's packed up. We're ready to head home. So let's end this video with a cautionary tale. So, remember that part where I was kind of bouncing against the shroud? I'll have to go back and see. I think I may even said something about, or maybe I just thought it, that one day I'm going to film myself falling out of the boat. Well, a few minutes, sometime after that, I look down and I see my shroud laying in the boat, and I have no idea how that happened, when that happened, or what that happened. So let's go take a look. I think I know. So it's through bolted, and the bolt's gone. I'm quite sure I would have had a nylock on there, if not Loctite or something, but I don't know. So check your rigging every once in a while so you don't die. No, actually, if I would have fallen out and today, I'd have been in warm water with lots of people on the lake. I'd have been embarrassed as all hell, and the boat might have sailed away from me, which would have been a bummer. I probably would have been okay, but still, yeah, you kind of need that thing every once in a while to remind yourself that be careful out there.